onstage career started in Ventura County with the community theater. The thing is, also, my first professional industry work was actually the Rat King in the Nutcracker. You know, there's a company called Pacific Festival Ballet in Thousand Oaks, and they're the resident ballet company of the Thousand Oaks Civic Arts Plaza, which is equivalent to almost like the Pantages of that area, right? We have all of the big shows happening over there. All the big guests come in, and so that I was teaching hip hop and breaking in their teaching studio, California Dance Theater. That's their dance studio. And so from there, they recruited me. Kim Maselli's the artistic director. She said, "Are you interested in being the Rat King in the Nutcracker?" And I said, what is that? I had no idea what it was. And then I realized the grandness of what I had to do and what all that is. And so that was my first professional gig, which is like a big milestone. After that, I did a community theater here, and then the next big one is Comfort Women, where I played a Korean man who was drafted by the Japanese army during World War II.
Okay.
And so it's a very heavily emotional, like, I had to choose whether to live and serve the Japanese army or save the Korean women that were being kept.
So that's your role.
That was my role. And so it took a toll, like physically, but it's one of those again where I was like, I mentally locked it. And when I mentally lock it, I'm just there and I'm doing the thing. So after that, that convinced me a little bit to, okay, like, should I go to New York? That was a big question. LA film kind of grabbed me, and it became a little bit more of an opportunity. And then so I did a little bit of that. That's how it transitioned, a little bit more to film after that. Because the network was here and the work was here. I moved here in LA a little bit more away from home, Thousand Oaks. And so it became more film after that.
Oh, so you started with film.
I started with the musical theater, and then I landed onto film because it was the available job. Commercials, little short films here and there, background for big movies, which is, has been really cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. So since we are already talking about films and musical theater, this is actually a personal question from me.
Okay.
And can you tell our viewers what are the differences between musical theater acting and film acting?
Yeah.
Is there differences?
Oh man, yes. I can't. Musical theater. They see you. They see your entire form. You walk on the stage, and now we're here. We're talking. Let's say we're doing our thing. Film has this beautiful technicality to it, which is like a dance. I see it as a dance. You have your framing. You have your composition. You have your good side.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Our cinematographers know that.
Shout out.
Right. Shout out. Right. And you have to stay in the confines of that. And so that limits a little bit of the universe you're creating with your body, especially depending on the shot it is. Right now we're in a medium shot. So you need to feel what are the confines of the movements. Like I can't just like make a big move and all of a sudden throw myself that way.
Yeah.
And so that's the beauty of filmmaking as an actor too, is you can actually being trained in it, you can watch when there's a scene with Al Pacino. It's just big film, right? His co-partner went this way, and he needed to know that, and so he had to move, or else he would be covered by the shot. And so the best actors don't only know how to act and convey emotions and convey characters, they know the technicality of the production. That's the hard part, that you can't just say, oh, I can do that. Yeah, sure, you can cry on spot. Sure, you're great. Oh, yeah, you could be really angry. But can you do it within the confines of what you're working with and have the best, most, like the picture of what you're doing is so as important as the performance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's the difference, musical theater, you have your own challenges there.
Own space.
Own space, and you have you can't turn your back, but film is extremely technical like that, I think. That's the difference.
Mas specific yung film. 'Di ba? Kasi kailangan talagang sundin mo itong camera angle na ito.
Kailangan nandun ka lang.
Yeah.
Right?
Diyan ka lang.
Yeah, nandiyan ka lang. And so, when you see the stars, big superstars move, and these big Hollywood, they really know what they're working with. If it's a really close up, there's a stillness to what they're doing. But comedy is different. Comedy is very open most of the time. It's the dramas that really kind of gives you the close-ups and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So ito na nga po ang aking next question. How are your performances in singing, dancing, and acting different from each other?
I actually don't see them differently. I see them, the only thing that's different is that I'm moving different muscles.
Okay.
What I mean is, like, I feel like when I sing, I'm dancing here,
yeah.
You have the apparatus that you're dancing with. When you're doing gymnastics, it's extremely technical. You do a round off into a backflip. You have a form. Acting, you have the form. Like, they're all very mechanical, actually. But the cool thing about it is that you are able to finesse, and then you can put your own personality into those forms. So when I sing, I'm dancing here. When I'm dancing, I'm
the body.
The body. It's bigger, and when I'm acting, I really feel it's more. It's like how emotions. How when you react to a certain thing. Oh my gosh! Like someone just got hit by a car over there. I'm like, right? Like how the body does it. When you act that, because you know that that's happening in the script, you have to put your body in that position.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a dance. There's that. That technique is controversial. It's argument. People can argue that, and people are like, oh, no, acting. They can call it other things. That's my experience with those art forms. That's why I find them all beautiful. Is that there is a way that I can, I can reach out to the world and make something out of all of them. In the like almost like ballet way.
Do you do ballet?
I do.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like you're like not triple. What is quadruple?
Quadruple? There's opals. I don't know. There's a lot.
Basta madami.
But that comes up a lot. You do so many things, Lyndon. What are you doing? Like, who are you? What do you do? I think that I can't answer that question yet. Like I don't know how to answer the question if you're really a dancer, if you're really a singer, because you're doing so many things, right? So I suppose we'll see what the journey looks like, but I'm loving what I'm doing though. So I very passionate with all of them, and that's the most I can describe myself truthfully, is I'm just extremely passionate with all of them.
And we all can see that naman, na talagang yung passion mo and how you balance things. Parang ilang beses ko nasabi yung balance things. Kasi syempre gymnast eh. Di ba? So dapat ipasok natin yung balance. Pero ito na nga. Nice. Syempre meron pa tayong next question.
Okay.
Ito, crash course para sa mga nagpe-perform.
Okay.
Di ba? And aspiring singers.
Okay.
Paano mag-prepare ang isang Lyndon Apostol kapag may upcoming performance siya?
Wow. Okay. Ready? Sige. I wake up a week before the show. I wake up and I'm already, okay, what's going to happen in the show? You have to visualize. Okay, you've been there before. Great. So my preparation for a show is weeks prior. And what I mean by that is this. Someone came up to me and said, dude, you just did that show. And I said, bro, I did that show 20,000 times before I got here. And so the best thing that I can say is that there is a constant getting ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just wake up and then all of a sudden you're gonna sing a song, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a constant practice every single day, or what have you, But it's a constant practice. Now that's if you're aspiring, you have to commit yourself to that,
Of
right?
course.
Because you can't be unrealistic and say, oh, I booked finally, like even if it's the smallest booking, right? I finally book and I'm gonna sing this song. Kunyari, I'm gonna cover Eraserheads, right? Great. Oh, how do I prepare? That preparation should have been happening all throughout that time, right?
Yeah.
So if one is aspiring, one can prepare right now without a booking, so that when they book,
They're ready.
you've already done it.
Yeah.
You've already done the show. So that's one principle, right? The second principle is actually like what I actually did today. I know my body enough that I know the things that I eat, the things that I drink, the things that the activities that I do. I know how it's going to affect my voice. And it's kind of funny now that sometimes I play with them, like, I want my voice to be a little more grungy today, So having that body awareness is super important. So that comes with experimentation. For me today, I woke up and I knew that I was going to come in. So I had to have a hot shower to relax the muscles. Usually I go to the gym, but I had work. I have the business to run. And so I was doing that. And food is very important. I prefer spicy food when I like give me like Thai, like good Thai food or Indian food, like right before, and it just opens up the sinuses and it relaxes the muscles. Right now I have Alyssa cup right here, hot water, right? And so that's what I do intake wise. But the number one thing that people actually don't know, exclusively will be saying here for the first time, I rap before I perform.
Ooh.
Like Eminem usually is my go-to because of the way he enunciates his words. If you listen to him, he's very particular in making sure that his word is clear.
Okay.
And as a singer, your diction, my diction as a singer is the number one thing that I'm aware of. So that, and everything else follows. The breathing will follow from the diction. That's just the way that I learn how to sing, is that everything that I'm saying is extremely articulated, right? And so rap, especially in his style, does that. So I kind of like rap some of his songs, and probably won't be doing one right now, but we know his songs, Lose Yourself and all that kind of stuff. So I rap before, and then I go to the songs. I listen to the instrumentals, and then so that's kind of how you dive in, and then you find yourself there. How do you deal with anxiety? I don't know how to tell you. I still have it. I have anxiety everywhere, especially when it's just built in. And there's, but you have the anxiety, but then there's the practice of how you deal with it that just goes on top. So even though it's there, you're very well mannered. And so that's how it is on a performance day.